You should be live when you check the feed. All right, we good. I can. All right. First and foremost, we would like to give all praise on and glory to Yahweh.
Yahweh, Basham, Bashai, Basham, Makakodas.
Double honors to our Apostle GMS, who rule well, teach well, being a great example to his young brothers. Peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing the word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Basham Shai, pushing to get up out of here and shout one to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners that came back to the obedience of the scripture, through faith in Yahweh Basham Shai. All right, we're back again, GMS, Memphis, and Mississippi camp, with another installment, all right, be thou Watchmen, because as these events play out, on the planet Earth, we understand that everything that we see, what Esau was doing to forward his New World Order agenda was prophesied about in the scriptures, and as the Lord commanded us to be watchmen, the nation of Israel, whether they hear or bear, we just pay attention to these things and bring it out, according to the Spirit. So we're going to go into this topic, of re-education camps, just getting up to date, of what they are and, how they play a role, within the prophecies. Y'all brothers got anything to add to it?
You got it.
All right, well, I'm going to play this clip, so lucky for it being blurry, but we're going to pay attention to the audio. Now, this clip was from way back in 2012, but it's very relevant in today because we know the elites have been planning, a new world order agenda, for centuries, man, and they've been chipping away at it. But now, we see it, really kicking to high gear as we come into 2020 year of prophecy, man. So I'm play this clip, and do some commentary. We're gonna get some precepts, I'm saying, Lord, we're brothers supposed to be edified by the end of this lesson, so I'm gonna play it.
Thousands worldwide out in the street for economic justice. It is May Day in 1971, the Army herded 7,000 protesters into a stadium-turned prison right here in Washington, D.C. Well, that was back in the 1970s, and a lot's changed since then, right? Well, not exactly. The infamous incident of the U.S. military interfering in local law enforcement operations leads us to a recently released DoD document called, quote, Internment and Resettlement Operations. The manual outlines policies for processing detainees in internment camps inside and outside of the U.S., including the re-education of detainees to ensure their integration back into society. So is this a hyperbolic situation of the worst-case scenario, or does this manual shed a light on what's to come in the U.S.? To help me answer some of those questions, I'm joined now by Alex Jones, of the Alex Jones Show. Hey, Alex. So the government writes lots of memos about hyperbolic situations that never really come to fruition. Why is this one so different?
Sure, that's a good question. This is not just a contingency plan. In the C-70s, 80s, we had Rex 84 and other plans. Now there's been a massive ratcheting up and billions of dollars a year being spent the last decade or so to actually take old military bases under the civilian inmate labor camp program under the Emergency Establishment Act for, quote, emergencies. But I've noticed that they were training, get political distance in them. They always tell the media that it's for disasters domestically or putting people in camps like Abu Ghraib in Iraq or in Cuba. But now more and more documents are coming out confirming what I already had from sources and my research into this and the 4 films I've made. Where I witnessed enlist Marines training to confiscate firearms on the West Coast and put Americans, both on the left and right, to segregate them according to their different political persuasions. Now,
and you understand, with these camps, they want to try to make it seem as if they're gathering up all they scream, radicals. That's why you have, outright, Antifa, which is considered rough. And then you had this movement also, Black Lives Matter. Well, they're just another way Esau, can label you as a domestic threat to the government. So we see Esau putting all these different categories out there just to label people, and that's is going to be a reason for him, to round people up, into these camps. A lot of you Israelites running out there to Black Lives Matter, running out there to their protests, don't understand, what you signing yourself up for, man. You don't understand what this devil is up to, man. Allowing you to ride, allowing you to loot, But meanwhile, he's been already, setting up different military bases and, different like you have all these retail stores closing, what they call a retail apocalypse, the Macy's, the Sears, the JC Penney, all these things, that he can use, as a concentration camp, you can go and get that Jeremiah. I'm gonna play some more of the clip. Get that Jeremiah 15:1, bro.
All right. This is Jeremiah 15:1. It says, "Then said the Lord unto me through Moses, and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people. And cast them out of my sight and let them go forth."
Yeah, and this people is talking about Israel. You so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, man. And the Lord is saying, though Moses and Samuel stand before me, and Moses and Samuel, represent, two of the very beloved men of the Lord, and they played the role as a mediator, between the children of Israel and the Most High. Moses in his time and Samuel, within his time, But now Yahweh Shai is the mediator. And since, our people reject Yahweh Shai, they have no mediator, and they're going to find themselves in some real bad situations, coming soon. You read the rest of it, bro.
Verse 2, it says, "And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, Whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, Thus said the Lord, such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are for the captive to the captive."
Yeah, and that captive represent these FEMA camps, man. These concentration camps, these re-education centers, man. You see? So America's finna be the worst place to be on earth in the near future, man. Famine is gonna be rapid. Gun violence is gonna be rampant. Apparitions, demons just manifesting themselves, man. You see? Plus, a lot of Americans gonna get shipped to World War III. So America, is finna be the worst place to be. And the Lord already has the type of death, appointed, for the those that reject Yahweh Shai, people that reject Yahweh Shai, man. You keep reading, bro.
All right, verse 3, it says, "And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, said the Lord, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy."
Yeah. So the Lord already has these different deaths for people, man. Because a lot of these concentration camps and re-education camps gonna be torture camps as well, man. And our people are gonna be subjugated, to these things, man, because they have no mediator, they have no divine intervention, man. So I'm gonna keep playing it. Any brother had anything else or had any points they want to bring up?
Yeah, I got a precept.
You got it, bro.
All right, this is Revelation 2 and 2 and 10, it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
You break it down, bro.
Concentration camps, man. They're going to cast some brothers into them. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers going to have to go in them concentration camps and suffer, you know, whatever they have to go through. But we got to be faithful unto death, you know?
Yeah, I watch Chris talk about brothers being unmovable, you know, because we got to go through things too, you know, for whatever lot that is, for whatever brother. But one thing about it, the Lord going to put the spirit on us to deal with whatever we need to deal to overcome, you know, because the elect already had the victory, man, you know. I'm gonna play some more of this clip. And if y'all want to make a point, you know, just let me know when to stop or a precept come to you. I'll stop it, then y'all can bring it out.
We have an Army document that dovetails with huge increased spending, hiring tens of thousands of people in office on this to me in the last year about the hiring tens of thousands of people in the training camps that they've set up to train the prison guards for these. And in this new document,
I was just going to say, talk a little bit. Yeah, you're talking about they're hiring hundreds of thousands of people, and talk a little bit about the PSYOP program within the document and what that really means. I mean, the re-education aspect of this document. Should people care about that? Explain a little bit more about that.
Exactly. That's what's sensational about this is they went from saying there aren't camps to, okay, we're building a bunch of them and manning them, and they have other contracts to prepare for private contractors to be ready within 70 hours or so to be able to fully man the camps that are already built. And in the new document, this isn't some contingency plan. This is the manual, and I can give people the number. It's FM 3-39.40, and they admit this is real. To psychologically brainwash with loudspeakers, to bring the political dissidents in who are there because of their political views, and to take them into other segregated areas of the camps. And it talks about psyoping them, conditioning them with classic 24-hour blaring loudspeakers. And what's crazy is, into these urban warfare drills, that's what they announce. Civil disobedience will not be tolerated. Your First Amendment has been canceled. And then when I had camera crews at the G20 in Pittsburgh 2 years ago, they had the police under military training saying the exact same thing and even attacking students at the college who weren't even protesting. We got video of young women on bicycles saying daytime, night curfew, in your dormitories, beating women over the head with billy clubs just for fun. Just to set the precedent that, hey, you don't come out of your dorm. There was famous footage of the G20 under Pentagon control with the local police and National Guard with German.
And these things like these curfews, you know, that Esau's pushing out there, you know, he's throwing it out there, but it's going to come a time when, you know, he's going to actually start enforcing it, you know, because right now, you know, he wants people to break the curfews and break the, you know, the mandatory stay at home, shelter in place orders, you know. So if it's a ramp up in COVID, which, you know, 23 states are reporting, you know, another outbreaks, well, this time, you know, he can enforce it with the military and blame it on the people not listening, man. You know, like he did for their good, man. You know.
Yeah, I got a precept out.
I bring it out, bro.
This is the book of Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed.
Mm-hmm. And that's what Esau Edom is doing, because we finna witness some real draconian laws, man. You know, hey, you're not about to be able to have an opinion, you know, against the government, man. You know, you're not gonna be able to move, you know, freely as you want, man. You know, this America is turned into a big prison, man. And these draconian laws will be enforced, because, like he said, they kept saying over the loudspeaker, civil disobedience will not be tolerated. All right, your First Amendment right is gone, man. You know, now America, all as we was coming up through kids, they told us how great of a country this was, how free we were, how much liberty we had. But now they finna snatch all that away, man. You know, and push out nothing but unrighteous decrees, man. You know.
I got a precept, Bob.
And that's why I say, won't you? They go down to Egypt for help. You put your trust in this system.
Yeah, you out of there. A lot of faith can be disappointed. But you got Kalab.
It's 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
Yeah. And it's good just to be on point. You know, like the scripture tell us, be not ignorant of small or great matter, so we look these things out, on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. We look at certain things, we look at different news, we research different topics, so we can, through the spirit, because the spirit be revealing this information to us, be giving us this information, and we just filter it through the scriptures, that way we're not, ignorant, Satan's devices, man, because a lot of people are completely ignorant of these things, man. They not gonna know that there's a concentration camp till they're in one. They're not gonna know about the mandatory vaccine, all right, until they being faced with it. They're not gonna know, So we just watching, as we're commanded to do, and reporting, as we're commanded to do, man.
God. Hey, the brother Kodar is backstage, y'all.
He backstage? Okay, come. So like, let me bring him back on. Yeah, he should be back. All right, I'm gonna go back to the clip.
God.
Shepherd, old women coming out of the grocery store with bags, and they released the German shepherds and began biting the old women. I mean, this is just absolutely off the charts. Even the most authoritarian states don't act like this. And the social controllers, the big banks that have taken over this country, and their collaborators in the police and military are openly trying to train the police and military to be attack dogs. And now we've got North Korean-style gulags with re-education camp manuals right out of the most authoritarian regimes this world has seen. This really proves.
What does the reintegration even mean? I mean, how can they be sure that someone's ready to be reintegrated into society? It just seems like an interesting concept to explore. What do you think that means? I mean, what will that entail?
Well, we know what happens in classical re-education camps. They get people within the camps to turn against those that are picked out to be persecuted. And really it's about the mass of people getting into serving the camp guards and being collaborators. Those that are chosen as the political dissidents to be tortured and abused and broken, they're generally kept for decades or put in slave labor. They're never to be released. The real secret of a re-education camp under the Soviet
yeah, man. Like Elder Yashua Wamba always
Nazi
say,
model,
so like,
Khmer Rouge model.
Like Elder Yashua Wamba always say, man, you might go before a judge and they might tell you life. You ain't getting that. But you got to understand that's not real, man. We're not gonna leave us, in the captive, to serve rigorous slavery, for the goddamn devil at the very end, man. Now, like I started to say, it say, be not faithful unto death, and he gonna cast us in prison 10 days with just a complete number of days. So you might have to do a month, 2 months, it might be a week, 2 weeks, we don't know, but at the end of the day, we know the Lord gonna put a spirit on us to endure, whatever we gotta endure, man, because we know, through tribulation, we shall enter, the kingdom. Matter of fact, now get that one for me, bro. Acts
14:22.
Yeah, bring that one out, bro.
It's the book of Acts 14, 22. It said, conform the souls of the disciples and exhort them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Shemashah.
Yeah, man. So we might get through, in the concentration camp, and it might be way out somewhere, man. It might be Central America, it might fly us by helicopter, man. And it's all gonna be to play with our mind, make us
God,
unstable. So brothers just gotta have their mindset, and then really have their spirit just to lock in, and completely depend on you how about Shema Shai. Cause like I say, it's gonna come a time where, the food you got stored up ain't gonna matter. A bug out bag ain't gonna matter. Your wisdom of the earth, your knowledge of the earth ain't gonna matter. It's gonna be a time of just complete faith, man, and you just gonna be at the mercy of your how about Shema Shai.
God. I get a precept up.
Yeah. So
I
this
like it too.
I'm just gonna say we know the devil don't got the last say so, about what happens to us, man. You got it, bro.
This book of Matthew 10:22. And ye should be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endure it to the end should be saved.
Mm-hmm. Now we coming into the time of endurance. You see, it's gonna be a time where the Lord gonna see who gonna endure for His name's sake. And we gotta go through different things. We gotta go through that straight gate, man. And a lot of our people gonna flip because it tells you how. Man, fella, get that in Luke. That these concentration camps are really made to see who's willing to cooperate. With the government, man. And be a help on the outside, man. You see. So a lot of our people gonna flip, man. Especially when it come to us, man. They gonna flip. You see. Get Luke 21 and
And 12, I'm already in it.
yeah, get that and read on down, bro.
This is the book of Luke 21:12. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake.
Yeah, and that happened, during the time of Acts. Apostle Paul was brought before King Agrippa. Different Romans. He had to appeal to Caesar. The apostles. They was brought in the synagogues for teaching in the name of Yahweh, and that's finna happen in this time, man. We finna be brought before different politicians and governments, to be, examined, about what we believe, man, for the testimony of Yahweh. And it's gonna go into it. You got it, bro.
13, and it shall turn to you for a testimony. Set
Yep.
it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist.
Yeah. So as we, back in the holding cell or in the dungeon, wherever they got, we ain't gotta meditate. Well, if they say this, I'm gonna say this. If they say this, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna open up. With Isaiah 13. Nah, you ain't gotta do all that, man. The Lord gonna give us a mouth, and we brothers gonna be cutting the shit out of everybody, man. They ain't gonna be able to gainsay. They gonna be confounded, man. The Lord gonna speak through you. How Shai gonna speak through you, man. And we gotta understand that brothers that might be in those situations, because as we see things, playing out, we can see things clear, how the situation we might find ourselves in, man.
God, and Yahushua, he didn't even speak, when
Yeah.
he was on trial, he was just silent,
Like we got to
Yeah, we probably be in that same spirit, not saying nothing. We don't know.
I got a precept out.
read down 16. Then you get yours.
Okay. Luke 21:16.
Yeah, read down to 18. Yeah, keep going.
It said, and ye should be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends, and some of you should they cause to be put to death, and ye should be hated of all men for my name's sake, but there should not an hair of your head perish.
Yeah, man. So people gonna flip, man. That's why it's not the time to be, just in this spirit, hoping everybody make it. It ain't a believer, man. But a lot of people, you know, is finna get ready to flip, man. When Esau put that pressure on, when they hear them people screaming, you know, getting tortured, man, they gonna flip. You know, so we're gonna get betrayed, you know, by a lot of people, and we're gonna be hated for the name of Yahweh. You know they're gonna do a smear campaign, you know, on the brothers and on what we believe, you know, and Yahweh is at the forefront of what we believe, man. So they're gonna be demonized, you know. But at the end of the day, the Lord say, not a hair on our head was gonna be punished, you know, and there's two different extremes because on one end, he said some of us, you know, gonna be delivered to death, you know, but then on the other end, he said not a hair on our head gonna be punished. But either way, we still good because we died in the name of Yahushua, you know. So those that do that, you know, you just sleep, you know, and you're gonna be right back, you know, and you're gonna have that added to your legacy, you know, that you went all the way the distance, you know, for Yahushua's sake, man, you know.
That shall rise first.
Come,
Yep.
come. You got a collab.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3. I read verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
You know, said trust in the Lord with all thine heart, lean not unto what you might be faced with, man. You trust in the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. In spite of what's going on around you, what you're faced with, what you're into, what they might put you in, you trust in the Lord Yahweh Shah to direct you, man, and to get you out this situation, man. And if you don't get out this situation, man, if you die in the Lord Yahweh Shah, you already know where you're gonna go, man. Yeah. You know? So he just said, trust in the Lord, man. Acknowledge him, and he shall direct you, man. So it's just like you got to put total faith and total trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. He's gonna get you out of any situation you're in, man.
I got a precept too, huh?
You got it, bro.
This Wisdom of Solomon 2, and I'm gonna start at 17. It says, "Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies." So you know, he gonna test that theory, man. You know what I'm saying? Esau gonna push you to the limit. You said you were delivered, David. You said you're a child of God. All right, let's see if he really with you. You know?
Yep. The same thing that was said to him when he was when Yahushua was on the cross, you know. Let his power, if he be the son of the Most High, let him save himself, you know. Basically mocking, man. You know, and that was 2/3, you know. How much more the wicked, you know?
Come on.
Let me read verse 19. It said, let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience.
Yeah.
So the brother's gonna go through it, man. You know, if Esau got that type of mindset, you know, you gotta just like you was just saying, we got this trust in Hashem Shema, man, and lean into him, man, to get us out of that situation, protect us, man. You know, that's all we got, man. We ain't got no guns, we ain't got no weapons. We can come up against this man with, man. We in the hands of our enemies right now, man. So we gotta trust in Yahweh Shema Shah, man, to get us out.
Hey, because the Lord not just gonna allow us, you know, to be tempted, you know, or suffer anything that's gonna make us break. You know, you got to understand, like, that torture and this gruesome pain, you know, that's coming, you know, that Esau got coming, man. That's gonna be on the wicked of our people, man. You know, like I say, we're gonna be tested, you know, but see, eventually the Lord gonna lift a standard, you know, or the Lord gonna put a spirit on us to take whatever Esau gonna do, man. But see, our people, they finna catch it, man. They finna feel all this, man, because it's the indignation of the Lord, man. You know, the Lord doesn't have indignation, you know, over his elect, man. You know, he's gonna take us through a fire, you know, but it's to purify us, man. But it's gonna overwhelm, you know, the wicked of our people, man. You know,
I get a precept to back you up.
You got it,
Baba
bro.
Kashai. Okay, this is the book of 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. That had no temptation taking you, but such as common to man.
Yep.
But Yahweh Shemashah is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it.
Yeah. You know, he gonna give us a spirit to bear it, or the Lord can just lift that standard, you know, and you can run through that concentration camp, man. You
Yep.
know, lay everything down, man. You know, that's part of the story as well, man. He gonna make his creature a weapon, all right, for the revenge of his enemy, man. You know? So
Yep.
that part of the story got to play out too, man. You know? But we just shedding light, you know, on every aspect, you know, of prophecy, man. You know?
Yeah. That could be a way of the Most High letting you escape, by spiritual powers,
Right.
Can I bring that precept up?
You got it, bro.
This from off the comment board from the brother Spiritual Arc 144,000. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verses 5 through 6. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him.
God.
You break it down, bro.
You know, it says, for gold is tried in the fire, man. You know, we're going to face that adversity, man. You know, we're going to be tried in that adversity, but we believe in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Put all your faith and trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. And he gonna make that way plain, man. He gonna make that way straight and make us, be able to get through that, man. Right. You know, to believe in him, man. You know, put your faith and trust, your total faith and trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's what you got to do, man.
God, bro. I'm gonna play the rest of this clip, and then I got an article, and then we'll wrap it up. Let me see.
I mean, all systems that have become authoritarian have done this. The real point of this enforcers of the authoritarian system are those that were actually in the re-education camp. They're finding people not to break them, but who will enjoy serving the system. Abu Ghraib at the base in Guantanamo to create the new Al Qaeda that they use to go take over Libya, and they're using to attack Syria. So the truth is, it's actually a training ground to find and create double agent Al Qaeda. Well, it's the same thing here. These re-education camps are actually factories to create collaborators.
Alex, I wanted to talk a little bit about the memo where it says that it invokes a special restriction on the Posse Comitatus Act, but I thought that Bush and the John Warner Defense Authorization Act of 2007 already suspended the Posse Comitatus Act. I was wondering if you could explain what that exactly means to civilians.
Well, I got to say, from all the RT shows I've done that are excellent, you are asking the best question. It's 300 plus pages. It actually states that, well, there is Posse Comitatus, but the president can suspend that. So at all intents and purposes, it's already suspended. Kind of like Congress told Obama, you've got to get authorization to launch a war on Libya. And he said, I don't need that anymore. And so they talk about Posse Comitatus, but only to state it's hollow and dead. And yes, the John Warner Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA, all of these just further suspend Posse Comitatus, the 1878 law, barring the military being used on the streets of America.
Do you think that these measures, Alex, are being set up in anticipation for some sort of global, unrest domestically? I mean, it just seems like after 9/11, all these measures have been taking place. Why? What is the purpose of ushering them in so quickly? The NDAA, John Warner, this. What do you think they're preparing for?
Well, we've seen The Economist magazine, Time magazine, you name it, say Bank of the World, technocrats, the world will no longer have freedom. They brag Goldman Sachs has conquered Europe, Goldman Sachs by quadrillion plus derivative. They're getting us ready for a total collapse. Those re-engineer it as the savior.
And then remember, this is from 2012, 8 years ago, and we seen them doing exactly, what Alex is talking about. Now we know Alex Jones is an insider; he's juiced in, But with channels like Alex Jones, they call him like a gateway channel. And what they do is they allow him to speak certain truths, so he can have credibility. And this is another way that they ID people and see who all is supposed to be woke. Who's really aware of what's going on. Who's still in the dumbified state. Who's in the middle. Because when they round people up, they gonna have different categories, man. And we know, we on the red list, man. Exterminate on sight, man. Or being brought before, certain leaders and politicians, or whatever, man. So like with Alex Jones, like what he's going into, that's exactly what they doing, an engineered crash, or engineered food shortage, engineered riots, man. All these things are being engineered by the government,
Hey, it's like that movie, Divergent. Brothers haven't seen that. I get a precept real quick.
You got it, bro.
This the book of Psalms 21:11. For they intended evil against thee, they imagine a mischievous device, which they are not able to perform, which is going to their new order, man. Cause he trying to make everybody a slave, man. They always say it was possible that it's impossible to see the very elect, man. That's why he doing this, the re-education system, man. But his new order is not going to happen, man. The Lord going to shut that down, man.
Right, bro. Let me play your last minute of it.
And so that's why they've taken old contingency plans, the things they beta tested, put it on a war footing and just ramped it up 500%. I mean, it's not just this document. It's billions a year now in the public bids for companies to supply the barbed wire, the private security, the interrogators. I mean, it's here. You just have to look at each document and put them together, and it is frightening.
It is interesting, Alex, and it is also worth noting that the government has said that it's not a matter of if, but when there will be a digital terrorist attack, and that could explain the crackdowns on the internet and the fight that we're seeing on that front. That was Alex Jones, host of the Alex Jones Show.
Okay, so there was that. Now, what I want to get into
May Day was a day that brought hundreds of thousands worldwide out in the streets to stand for economic justice. But out of all the
all right, so what I want to go to now is this article, and this was from last year. Let me share the screen. Hey, Karal, you can get that Zechariah. I mean, not Karal, Cordar, you get that Zechariah 14:2.
I think the brother left out.
Yeah, I don't think he left, bro.
Unless Esau will kick him out. There you go.
Cordar, you good? Cordar, can you hear me, bro? Let me pull this article up, though.
You want me to bring it out?
Yeah, you can get it, bro.
Zechariah 14:2.
God.
Yeah, just hold it real quick. Let me.
You started 1-2, Clyde.
Con. It's Zechariah 14.
I don't get it now, wait. Hold on.
Con, Salaki.
Brother, you freeze up, dude.
I don't know, it look like it. Yash.
Bro. I want to say.
Yeah, that brother froze.
We'll jump back in there.
And probably because he tried to shield it.
What are there?
Kadar, you there?
This thing right here, man.
Oh, yeah. Sure. You said you're about to come back. Okay.
Yeah, tripping. Yeah, he made me log all the way back in now. But yeah, I'm gonna pull up this article. Yeah, I knew it was gonna do it one time. Let me try to pull it up. Yeah, I see the article.
Not yet.
It's loaded. Yeah, it's buffering.
Can y'all brothers hear me?
Come, we can hear you, bro.
There you go.
All right, come. All right, I'm gonna go in this article. All right. This is from American Build Tech for China's Sinister Re-Education Camp. You know, so it's gonna go into how America helped build, you know, these Chinese China sinister, all right, with the wicked re-education camps. And this is from March. This is from March 20th, 2019. So about a year and some months ago. All right. Now it says when Google announced Project Dragonfly, a version of its search engine that would cater to China's censored internet, pockets of the internet and the company's own workforce erupted in protest. So Project Dragonfly is a way that China, you know, censors their internet because, you know, in China, you know, ain't no freedom of speech. You can't just say, you know, and do what you want, you know. So America assisted, in building that model, and they're gonna bring it here to America. It said, but many other American scientists and companies have quietly helped build its surveillance state according to foreign policy, where citizens are now subjugated to near constant monitoring through facial recognition software, including tech used to detain Chinese Muslims in re-education camps. It said the news of these partnerships comes after Chinese security company SenseNets accidentally left a database of information about how the government constantly tracks 2.5 million people in Xinjiang province unsecured on the internet. The database revealed that SenseNet was one of the companies responsible for China's ongoing effort to detain and standardize its population of Turkish Uyghur population, according to the foreign policy. Meanwhile, MIT announced early last year that it would partner with Chinese AI company SenseTime, which happened to own 49% of SenseNet, and independently help Chinese governments develop surveillance systems as well. And it says MIT researchers have also partnered with its Flytech, a Chinese company that has been flagged by Human Rights Watchdog for its work monitoring electronic communication. And it said it's not just MIT. It says scientists from Yale, Carnegie Mellon University, and American companies include drone software firm Exene and data center Amax have partnered with Chinese scientists and companies developing surveillance tech for the government. Thermo Fisher sold DNA mapping technology to the Xinjiang government. SenseNet also claimed to have partnership with Microsoft, which a Microsoft denied in a comment to foreign policy, man. And we know, all right, who owns, all right, Microsoft, supposedly is Bill Gates, man. So you see how, you have Bill Gates invested heavily into the vaccines, invested heavily, into this surveillance technology over there in China, and the elite just got him set up as if he's the ring leader behind all this. But we understand he's an underling to them, But like another thing they pushed as we was growing up, as if he was the richest man in the world, and it was nothing above him, for being rich. And now they got him as the front runner, of the vaccinations, where they put him to be a savior of the world. And now we see he's heavily invested in surveillance technology, man. And China is a place where the elites do a lot of experiments, with mass population, man, because that's the biggest population on earth, man. So they can pull it off from China. They can pull it off. They feel like they can pull it off anywhere, man. So we see, all right, that America has a heavy influence in those re-education camps in China, and they're gonna bring it, to America, man. So and you can get that not Isaiah, Zechariah, bro.
Con. This is the book of book of Zechariah, chapter 14, starting at verse 1. Behold, the day of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. Verse 2. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city.
Yeah. So the Lord is going to allow a lot of Israelites to be taken from their homes and dragged to these camps, man. Esau with this surveillance, that's how he's able to play with the live streams and, alter YouTube so much, man. Because Esau has spent a lot of money, with his surveillance. That's why scriptures say he has become wiser than Daniel. There's no secret that they can keep from you, man. Because Esau invests a lot of money into their surveillance, and their facial recognition, technology, which they say that's the reason why he want to do the 6 social distancing, because it's easy for that computer to pick up, the facial recognition, when people are distant from each other, man. So everything that he's doing, that he's pushing, is all leading to his agenda, of rolling out, the new world order, man. Eliminating a lot of people, seeing who's really, ready to comply, with the new world order system, and who's, he just gonna deem as unworthy, man. But we gotta know, that this ain't the end game, and Esau not gonna, overcome, man. As the brother and I was saying earlier,
If I can add, it's just like the Maccabees piece, period, man. With Antiochus, I can bring that out real quick.
Yeah, you bring it out, bro.
This is the book of First Maccabees, 1:41. I get straight to the point. It said, "Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king." I'm gonna jump down to 50. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
Mm-hmm.
He should die, man. That's what's gonna happen, man.
Yeah. Like you said, bro, like draconian laws is finna be implemented, throughout America, man. And it's finna be a lot of people sentenced to death, man. And it's gonna be a lot of, I say, women getting ravished, man. America finna be the worst place to be.
Yep.
People are so proud, and we can end on that unless somebody has something else.
I was gonna go to the 7 brothers of the Maccabees, man, how they were torturing and stuff, but we don't gotta get it.
Yeah, we'll end with that second Ezra 8:50.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go on another time, Lord willing.
Yeah, because it said we're middle generation of our forefathers, man. The 7 brothers, man, how they were tortured, man, for not eating swine flesh, man.
That's symbolic of not bound to Baal, man.
Yeah.
In this time, the beast.
Yep.
Yeah, you get that second Ezra. Yeah, come.
Ezra's 8:50. It says, "For many great miseries shall be done to them in the latter time, shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride."
Yeah, man. So we finna see many miseries, man. People was crying about the little shutdown. They were protesting, but just wait till they really shut this thing down, man, and start shipping you people off, man. The misery ain't started yet, man. It's gonna rev up way more than this, man. The Lord finna show his indignation, man. And he finna put the spirit on Esau to go be a madman, sparing none, man.
God.
But that was it, y'all had. Nah, that was it, bro. Yeah. Y'all brothers had anything else?
Nah.
Nah, that's it.
Hey, well, with that, we pray that you brothers and few sisters that watch are edified. Once again, we're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to.
Yeah,
double honors to our apostle LGMS. Shalom. To the brethren pushing his word and truth and sincerity, man. Shalom to the hopeful like the believers. So with that, Kwam Yashala. Bob.
Shalom.
Shalom.